Welcome back.
All right, we are back for another session with Madison here to do our second and third grade SLEDD lesson. And if everybody remembers from last time, we started out by asking Madison to just name something fun that we've done while she's been on this coronavirus time at home, quarantine, homeschool, whatever you want to call it. And she said,
A hike.
a hike. We went on a hike and she wanted to talk about a hike. So last time we talked about the S and L from SLEDD. The S and L from SLEDD stood for, what was it, Madison? Do you remember those words? Sensory language. That's right. And Madison, what do we focus on when we talk about sensory language? Our five senses. So last time we made a chart. We talked about what you could, see if she remembers.
See, smell, taste, touch, and hear.
Yes! High five. Wow. So she remembers. That's awesome. It's great. Got to use the hand motions. Way more fun. So based on that, she took what was on our board and she wrote her rough draft of her narrative. And so if you didn't see that session, be sure to watch that one first and then come back to where we are now. By the way, I'm wearing my Superwoman shirt because I feel like kind of every parent should be considered a superhero right now. What do you think, Madison, with all this homeschool, all that?
Especially you since you're on YouTube.
It's true. But anyway, that's my saying about that. So we're going to keep going. What I did is I took her story. So this is her story that she wrote. So she wrote it, hand wrote it, I typed it. And then I took this and I divided it into sections, which is what we're going to go through today as we learn the rest of SLEDD. Now, I told you the S and the L, not yet, okay? I'll tell you what's time. The S and L was sensory language, right? The next letter is E. E stands for events stay the same. That means as we go through to revise Madison's story, we can't change the basic gist of the story. Would you like to read it or do you want me to? Okay, she's going to read you her story so we know the gist of the story. And I'm going to turn a light on here. Does it seem dark? I think it seems dark. Y'all like my socks too? Yeah, Christmas. All right, keep going, Madison.
One day, me and my family was going on a hike at Soap Creek. I saw trees and colorful leaves. We followed the pathway. Me and my family could smell dog poo. It was gross. At one point, we passed a road. That was so weird to hike right next to the road. A while later, I saw rocks and waterfalls. I could hear the waves crashing into the rocks and waterfalls crashing down. I went in the water and I accidentally got some water in my mouth. It tasted like salt water. I played on the rocks and played in the sand. We built a castle and a sand pie. When we were heading back, we heard people skipping and cracking sticks and leaves. Mom, you know something I realized?
What?
You put people twice.
Oh, silly me. She just edited my typing. Good job, Madison. We're not going to get to that stage yet, though. Okay, good job, Madison. So, this is Madison's story. And so that means we cannot change the events. That's the E in SLEDD, remember?
You can only make the words bigger, make them red, and fix the spelling.
Yes, you can do stuff like that, but we're gonna do more than that. So we already did the S and the L, right? S and the L we already did. The E we just talked about. Events stay the same. So now we're gonna talk about the first D. Today's entire lesson is on the first D. And the first D stands for details. And do you remember what I said details were focused on? Adjectives, adverbs, and strong verbs. What?
Adjectives, adverbs, and strong verbs.
Good. So adjectives, adverbs, and strong verbs. So before we can do today's lesson, we have to have a quick lesson on what those things are. You have to be able to recognize a noun. I'm going to write some things on this board, Madison. You can't see it. This is a test, okay? You guys are in suspense, aren't you? Okay. What do all of these words have in common? Madison, read the words.
Tree, school, pencil, book, and water. They're all out of school.
Oh, okay. They could be all the school. Okay. That's kind of funny. I didn't think about that. But
they're all out of school.
Okay. All right. Now I want you to tell me something else you notice about these words. Tricky.
They're all a. I know what it is.
You don't have to say the part of speech if that's what you're thinking of. You can just say they're all. I need to find my eraser. They're all a. Oh, let me add one more. Everything on here is either a person.
Place or thing.
That's what I was looking for. Everything on here is either a person, place, or thing. Okay? These are what we call
nouns.
Nouns. A noun is a person, place, or thing. A noun is a person, place, or thing. Person, place, or thing. Person, place, or thing. A noun is a person, place, or thing, like tree, school, or mom. And you can insert anything you want. So when my boys, Madison's older brothers, were little, and I was teaching them this, that's what we used to do when we were learning about nouns and verbs and all these kinds of things. I would walk around the house like a crazy lady. I know that doesn't surprise anybody. And I would sing songs about nouns and verbs, and we would insert whatever words that we wanted to. So Madison, do you know what I did with my eraser? Find your eraser. We might have to pause to find an eraser.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So now that we know what nouns are, I'll just do this for now. Okay.
Magic backstage thing.
All right, Madison, I'm gonna try to trick you again. You ready? Tell me what do these words do? Okay. This next question I'm gonna ask you.
Ready? They'll describe someone.
Did you catch on to what she just said? She said all of these words describe.
That's all I need.
And red or thick or blue. All of these are describing words. What about what? Hold on. Backstage conference. And we're back. Okay, so all of these are describing words, and all these words are describe nouns. Anything that describes a noun is called an adjective because it adds to the noun. An adjective adds to the noun. What? An adjective adds to the noun. What?
An adjective adds to the noun.
An adjective adds to the noun. Okay. All right, now I'm going to really trick you this time, okay? So everybody at home, watch this. Okay, Madison, you're totally going to get tricked this time. Tell me what all of these words have in common.
Backstage stuff.
Okay, Madison, read these words. And stop at the back. Read these words.
Run, jump, walk, talk, write, and grow. They are all, wait, I know what it is.
You don't need to know the word, just tell me what they are. They're all words that are what?
They're all active words.
They're all action words. Action words are called verbs. And I was go verb because it's kind of fun because that's an action, you know? So ready? Verb. Can you do it? Oh, yes. Because see, there's a lot of action involved. Good. She's kind of crazy. I don't know where she gets it. Okay, so verbs are action words, okay? Verbs are action words. Now, last one. Okay, back up, Madison. Here we go. Read these words.
Slowly, carefully, and quickly, they all end in ly.
Ooh, they all end in ly. Excellent. What do you think these words might do? When might you use the word quickly in a sentence?
I ride my bike very quickly down a hill.
Ooh, that kind of scares me a little bit. Are you wearing a helmet when you do that?
No.
Oh. Okay. She said, I ride my bike quickly. She rides quickly. Quickly does what? Describes
how I ride.
Woo! Yes, quickly describes how she rides. Use the word slowly in a sentence.
Charlotte rides her scooter slowly down the hill.
So slowly describes what?
Charlotte.
Not Charlotte.
How she's riding.
How she's riding. Very important distinction. Not describing Charlotte, describing how she rides. Now, use the word carefully.
I don't do anything carefully.
Okay, carefully describes how she does or does not do things. All of these describe actions.
Most things
right?
not.
I run quickly. I drive slowly. I read carefully. They are describing how I do a verb. They add to the verb, so they're called adverbs. Adverbs add to the verbs. What?
Adverbs add to the verbs.
Excellent job. Okay, so now that we have that quick lesson, now if you're in second grade, that might have been new to you, depending upon how far along you are there. If you're in third grade, you should have already known that, and that would be a great review. And if you didn't already know it, no problem, now you do. But we're not going to spend any more time on it. Now we're going to get on to the fun stuff. All right, Madison, here's the first part of Madison's. Okay, one day, hopefully you can see this, if not, zoom in closer. One day, me and my family was going on a hike at Soap Creek. I saw trees and colorful leaves. Now, not yet. Okay, so now, first of all, I want to tell you, I'm not correcting any of Madison's grammar, okay? So anything that she says in here that's incorrect grammar, I'm not correcting it right now because we're going to go on later to the revise and edit stage. All we're doing now is the details, right? Adjectives, adverbs, and strong verbs. So Madison, what I want us to do right now is I want us to find all the nouns, the person, place, or thing. So is there anything in here that you can see so far? I want you to tell me before you do it.
Me as a person.
You don't have to do pronouns. You don't have to do pronouns, but you're right, me as a person. What's another noun that you can see?
Person, place, Soap Creek.
Okay, so Soap Creek. Oh, that one didn't work. Where's the one you found?
It's the purple one in here. And nope, not really do that.
Okay, so you can underline Soap Creek. Okay. Anything else you can see that is a person, a place, or a thing? Trees, good.
And leaves.
Good, and leaves? Good. Okay, now, Madison only found 3 nouns. There are more nouns than 3. Don't worry about it, okay? I'm going to point out some more that we can talk about if you want. Oh, family, good, Madison. But my point is, they don't need to find every noun. That's silly, okay? That's not the only focus of this. The focus is to improve their writing. So by finding 4 nouns already, we can improve our writing because every noun has to be attached to an adjective. Every noun has to be attached to an adjective. So Madison, what's a word to describe your family? Anything? Large. Good. So one day, me and my large family was going on, and we know that would be word going on, but that's okay. A hike. Okay, hike is actually a noun too. Okay, what could describe the hike? Hot hike at Soap Creek. And since actually this is the title of a place, we don't even need to give it an adjective. We saw trees. What could describe the trees?
Colorful.
We saw, we'll use colorful here. So do you want to pick a different word?
Large.
And we're going to use large. Tall. Excellent. Now notice how I did that. I said, let's not use words we've already used. Please stop. She likes to move around. We saw tall trees and colorful leaves. Can we describe more about the leaves?
Some were red, some were orange, some were yellow, some were brown.
We saw colorful, red,
yellow, green, brown, orange.
Okay, we're going to end there because we're going to go through every color. And
black.
No. And orange leaves. Good. Sit down, please. You're marking the next. Okay. So now we have one day me and my large family was going on a hike at hot hike at Soap Creek. I saw tall trees and colorful red, yellow, green, brown, and orange leaves. Okay. Now we go to the next page. Okay. We followed the pathway. Is there a noun there?
Yes.
What is it?
We followed that pathway.
Okay, underline pathway. Me and my family, you already knew that was a noun, could smell the dog poo. Oh,
Dog is a person.
Dog, but now, actually, that's an interesting point. This is way advanced for second grade.
Dogs are people.
But dog
People
is not used here as a noun. It's by itself. Dog is actually describing the kind of
poo would come from.
So why don't you underline poo, because that is actually the noun. It was gross. Okay, so it is. Okay, now let me have this. All right, Madison, can you describe the pathway that you had to go down? Okay.
Well, it wasn't like, I don't know.
Can you back up?
Sometimes you had to go up and sometimes you had to go down. But mostly you had to go down to down. So there's details.
Okay. How about the steep pathway?
Okay.
Okay. We followed the steep pathway. Me and Lay. Now describe me a different way to describe family.
Different way. I can't use large.
How about your family's personality? What is your family like?
How about active?
Oh, I like it. Active family could smell the dog poo. And in other words, I need something to describe the dog poo besides, you said here that it's gross, so something besides gross. We could smell.
The disgusting.
Oh, disgusting. Okay, next page. At one point, I'm going to make it faster now so we can move along. At one point, we passed a road that was so weird to hike right next to the road. How would you describe the road? No. Was it a country road? Was it a busy road? Was it a crowded road? What kind of road was it?
Oh, famous road.
It was a famous road?
Yeah, I don't know.
It can be a famous road if you want.
Famous road.
You passed a famous road. Okay. I might have said a busy road because it was, and that was weird. But
no, it wasn't busy, Mom.
Was it busy when you saw it? Okay, she disagrees. It's her paper. I got to go along with her. At one point, we passed a famous road that was so weird to hike right next to the.
I'll do what you said.
Oh, now she likes me.
Crowded.
Crowded road. Oh, we're moving right along. A while later, we were right next to a broken down old-time castle. Okay, now she did a great job here of describing the castle, but I know she loved this part and she skipped right over it in her story, so we're gonna grab it more. Madison, I'm gonna hold this and I want you to just tell me everything you can remember about the castle. Tell me everything you can remember about the castle. Just describe it. What did it look like?
The castle, it didn't look like a castle. It actually kind of looked like a war base.
A war base? Okay, keep going.
And it was very tall and it had, like, there was a lot of parts that stayed up. But then, like, this part would be up, but then it would go like that. So, like, curved.
So
the walls were, like, broken and curved.
Ooh, it was tall with walls that were broken and curved. Okay, what color was it, or what was it made of?
It was made of stone and barely any wood. It was only right on top of the 4 doors. And the color was gray and brown. Mostly gray.
Now, check it out! Madison, which can you see better in your head? We saw an old-time castle, or we were right next to a broken-down old-time castle. The castle looked like a war base. It was tall with walls that were broken and curved. It was made of stone with a little bit of wood. It was gray and brown. Do you like it? Yeah, you did that, girl. Oh, no, it's really pitiful. Okay, thank you. Okay, so whenever we have a moment like this, we call this exploding the moment. If you find something like this in your paper that you could say more about, you got to stop a minute and say more about it. So all of this whole part in purple would get inserted right here in her story. Then she says, I could taste the air. What kind of air is outside? What kind of air?
The air. Probably like sea air.
I didn't hear you.
Like sea air.
Like sea air, like you're by the ocean?
Yeah.
Okay, I could taste the air. So that'd be like fresh air? Fresh. It was. I could taste
the fresh water. No, the fresh
ocean-like air. How about that? I could taste the fresh ocean-like air. Okay.
Yeah, just to tell you, if you see my sister with my mom and her stuffed animals on her bed, I have a lot more stuffed animals than her. Just to tell you that.
That's true. Sometimes they hot rooms though. Okay,
Lot.
I went in the water. What kind of water? How would you describe the water? Anyway.
Cold.
Oh, I went in the cold water and I accidentally got some
cold water. No.
Salt
water.
Sea. Salt water. So she said it tasted like salt water. This is a creek, not the ocean, but hey, it's her story, not mine. I went in the cold water and I accidentally got some salty water in my mouth. You want to describe your mouth in any way? Open. Had to be open to get something in it, right?
Yeah.
All right.
In my open mouth.
It tasted like salt water. You've already described it, so you don't have to describe it anymore. Okay. I played on the rocks. What were the rocks like? Describe the rocks.
The rocks were actually kind of comfortable.
They were. I played on the comfortable rocks and played in the sand. What was the sand like?
Some was wet and some was dry. So wet and dry sand. Wet
and dry sand. We built a sand castle and a sand pile. I need to know.
Pie.
Oh, that's supposed to be pie. She told me that earlier. Okay. I need to know a lot more about the sand castle. What did it look like?
Well, Charlotte built it, and so it was just.
Yeah, use words, Madison.
It was just like, sand, and then she just made it tall and tall and added sand and made it tall and tall.
Okay, so the sandcastle was a pile of sand?
Yes, a big pile of sand.
Okay, keep going.
And she just added some sticks and some pretty leaves.
She added what? Sticks?
Sticks and pretty leaves.
Okay, the sandcastle was a big pile of sand with sticks. Don't look.
And pretty leaves.
And pretty leaves. Okay, and then what's a sand pie?
A sand pie is just pie made out of sand. It's flat and rounded.
Rounded on top. Okay.
And it's slow, not tall.
And
me and my brother.
Would you say it was
low and not tall?
Okay, the sand pie was flat and rounded on top. Okay. All right. Now let's look at this. Stop. All right. I played on the comfortable rocks and played in the wet and dry sand. We built a sand
castle and a sand pie. The sand castle was a big pile of sand with sticks and pretty leaves on top.
Nope, I forgot that on top.
Yep.
Okay.
Sticks and pretty leaves on top. The sand pie was flat and rounded on top.
Okay, perfect. Moving on.
Ooh,
all right. Then I saw rocks and waterfalls.
I could hear the waves crash.
Okay, we're gonna wait. I saw, what kind of rocks did you see? You already used that.
I know. Bumpy.
Okay, I saw bumpy rocks.
The bumpy is comfortable.
And what kind of waterfalls?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Waterfalls. I could hear the waves.
Crashing into the
What kind of waves?
Small waves.
Okay, I could hear the small waves crashing into the, what kind of rocks?
Large.
And waterfalls crashing down. Another word for waterfalls? Another way to describe the waterfalls?
Waterfalls, waterfalls, waterfalls. Let me. Tall. Wait. Yeah, tall.
Okay.
No, wait. Should be tall or steep?
We can use the one when you go back to revise. Last page. When we were heading back, we heard people skipping and cracking sticks and leaves. Okay, what kind of people? Describe the people.
They were hiking.
Okay, we heard, okay, so we could even take out people and say hikers, or we could say, when we were heading back, we heard hiking people, or you can say hikers. What do you want to say?
Hikers.
So we're going to cross this out and just say hikers. Skipping and cracking what kind of sticks? You're blocking the camera. What kind of sticks?
Small.
Okay, small sticks, and what kind of leaves? And colorful leaves, okay? Okay, now, at this point, we're gonna stop our video for today. We're gonna come back with another session soon. But what we'll do now is, we found all the nouns and we added adjectives. The next step is to find all of the verbs and either change them to a stronger verb and or add an adverb to describe them. So now we're gonna go back through and find verbs and add a descriptive word, which we call an adverb, to describe the verbs. So that'll be our next session. We'll see you then. Bye!